Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all for today's e-conference on Catalyst for Change, a digital revolution for India's chemical industry. Brought to you by Indian Chemical News, a digital hub for India's expanding chemical, petrochemical, and allied sectors. ICN is providing independent news, in-depth analysis, policy updates, leader interviews, and market insights in collaboration with AVEVA, a global leader in industrial software, and focusing to drive responsible use of world's resources. The webinar will discover how digital tools are enabling greater collaboration, faster decision-making, safer production, and more sustainable practices, positioning India as a future-ready chemical powerhouse. It will also focus on how embracing digital change can catalyze long-term value and resilience across the sector. The speaker for today's conference are Mr. Jagdish Pranami, Associate Vice President, SRF Limited. A brief on Jagdish ji. He takes care of electrical instrumentation and advanced IoT projects at SRF Limited with 29 years of experience in project design and plant maintenance. Mr. Pranami has handled chlor-alkali, coal-based CPP power plants, fluorochemicals, specialty chemicals, multi-product plants, and digitization. He has utilized latest and most advanced technology in projects, and he holds a BE in instrument technology. Thank you, Jagdish ji, for joining us. Our next speaker is Mr. Aviram Alurkar, Senior General Manager, Digital Manufacturing and Supply Chain, DFPCL. He's a chemical engineer with a total of 23 years of experience, which includes digital transformation consulting, enterprise architecture, program management for MES, IRIS, dynamic simulation using Unisim Design, engineering study simulation using Unisim Design, and detail engineering and operations. Welcome, Aviramji. Our next speaker is Mr. Ramesh Dham, Senior General Manager, Digital and IT, Coromandel International. Mr. Ramesh Dham is a digital transformation leader and ensure seamless implementation and adoption of digital tools, optimizing performance and fostering innovation. With over 2 decades of experience in chemical industry, Dham is proficient in R programming, AVEVA Pi, SEQ analytics, OT security architecture, industrial IoT, Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud technologies. Thank you, Ramesh ji.
Thank you very much, sir.
Our next speaker is joining from Singapore, Mr. Naveen Kumar, Vice President Business Development, AVEVA. He leads a global team of business development professionals. Each team member focuses on a specific set of products, driving significant growth for the AVEVA portfolio with over 37 years of experience across different industries. Naveen has supported customers in investment planning, profit improvement, digital transformation, and sustainability initiatives. Based in Singapore, he holds a degree in chemical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, New Delhi. Welcome, sir, Naveen ji. Mr. Anand Mantri, partner Kearney. He works in the energy and process industries practice for Kearney in India. He has more than a decade of experience across consulting and industry. Anand has spent almost a decade in the downstream oil and gas sector, including petrochemicals, to address a wide range of issues, including areas such as strategy, operations, and performance transformation, logistics, and supply chain, and digital transformation. So these are the speakers who will be there as a part of panel discussion and presentation that we would be having today. The topics that we are going to discuss are digital blueprint of the company or group with respect to connected chemical plant, predictive models, condition monitoring and failure prediction, streamlining production process through digital transformation, optimizing process with data analytics and AI ML, tracking ESG goals through digital technologies, training and skill development to leverage digital technologies, driving predictive maintenance at scale, building robust data infrastructure with AVEVA Pi and AVEVA Pi data infrastructure, adopting an industrial intelligence platform such as Connect, a game changer for chemicals industry. So we have the ICN Play and Win contest, which is the quiz. some about the contest. The moderator will be asking questions from the audience during the course of the session, and the one who responds first with the correct answer stands eligible for winning rupees 1000 gift voucher from Amazon. All the questions will be asked by the moderator of the session, and replies need to be given in the chat window box of your respective screen on Zoom platform. I repeat, you have to give your replies, need to be given in the chat window box of your respective screen on Zoom platform. Final winners will be announced at the close of the e-conference session today. Only the person with the correct answer responding first in order of priority shall be declared winner. Organizer and sponsor partner employees are not eligible to participate in the contest. Organizer decisions to be treated as final in case of any discrepancies. Gift vouchers to be sent electronically to all the winners post completion of the session. Just a few points on the statistics part. Indian Chemical News stats, page views 240,000, users 102,000, newsletter 59,000, LinkedIn followers 86,368. The open rate for the newsletter is 30% and click rate is 8%. So this is from my side, a short presentation. Let me now request Mr. Naveen Kumar, Vice President Business Development AVEVA, to give his presentation. And I would request to all of you to listen to the presentation attentively, as we will have ICN Play and Win contest after his presentation. And all the questions will be based from the presentation that he is making. So over to Mr. Naveen Kumar.
Thank you, Praveen ji, and greetings to all the fellow panelists. What I'm going to cover in the next few minutes is at a very high level what AVEVA does for anybody who doesn't know AVEVA, and then get into a little bit on some of the trends we see around digitization, AI, and the work that we have done in this space globally. So AVEVA is a leader in sustainable industrial platform and software. We combine the industrial data management with AI-infused software that built on more than 50 years of experience, with the company having been founded in Cambridge back in the 60s. We are now a wholly independent company, but we are 100% owned by Schneider Electric, and we are roughly growing our revenues by 10% plus. But we are an open and agnostic and trusted by world's leading companies from wide spectrum of industries, from energy, infrastructure, manufacturing, pharmaceutical, chemicals, and so on. In India, our presence is mainly through our R&D centers, where we have roughly about 1,025 engineers. This is roughly 43% of global R&D capacity and contributing to more than 70% of the products. But important is that all of AVEVA cloud solutions are monitored 24/7 out of India. We also have a delivery center where we have more than 200 experts on different technology, and that's roughly 30% of our global services strength, providing expertise in energy, power, chemical, infrastructure, smart cities, consumer goods, F&B, and marine. Globally, we have roughly about 6,500 employees, 22% project centers, 250% tech partners, 16% of revenue we are investing back in R&D, and 85% of the projects are including next-gen technology. Now, when we look at the trends for the chemical industry, one of the things that we are seeing here is, first of all, I think the geopolitical event, they're having a significant impact. And every morning when we wake up, you read a news which says, okay, I may have to, as an operating company, look at how do I manage supply chain, especially for anyone who is with a global player. The next one is around sustainability. It is not only compliance to sustainability targets, which are different regions, but they're all progressing towards net zero over the next 20-25 years. But the energy costs are also rising. And in the last few years, anybody in Europe has suffered significantly because of this. And there have been instances where importing a particular intermediate is cheaper than manufacturing is on site in Europe. Digital transformation, I've used the term data as a feedstock for AI. The people who use the term data as a new gold for enabling modern analytics and reporting systems. And the analytics is now shifting from conditional and historical to more predictive and prescriptive. When I look at India opportunities, I think the, the first one, which is one of the significant ones, is navigating the global and regional oversupply in petrochemicals. Uh, in terms of naphtha crackers for producing ethylene, which is one of the first units in the chemical supply chain, India is one of the few places which is still bringing capacity because as a country we are short on it. But the naphtha cracking margins are significantly suppressed, and that's resulting in a lot of consolidation happening in Europe and other places. We need to be building sustainability with industrial growth and also grow regional supply chain networks. Now, I did a small, used AI to generate, to look at what are the digital transformation trends in Indian chemical companies. What this did was it went through the different annual reports, investor presentation, and summarized these 8 areas, which is Industry 4.0 acceleration, operational excellence, digital R&D and innovation, sustainability via digital, supply chain resilience, workforce upskilling, customer platforms, and cybersecurity and infrastructure. Now, when I map this across how we look at this, I think we look at it in terms of 4 areas, and I think we can easily map everything that we saw on the previous slide here into 4 areas. One is circularity, second is decarbonization, third is production excellence, and fourth is connected worker. And there again, we look at 2 areas. One is when you're looking at extracting more from your existing assets, and second is optimizing your capital investment. So just to give at a very high level, when you look at circularity, in an operating asset, you'll be looking at reducing material waste to improve use of natural resources, or you would be collaborating across your ecosystem to close circular loop. But when you look at CapEx, you're looking at new processes to increase recyclable content or scalability of the green products, right? When I look at production excellence, you're looking at production execution, ensuring quality, or improving production chain visibility for agility and safety. And when you're looking at a CapEx, you're looking at improving processes to improve competitiveness. So there's just a snapshot, and we'll be sharing this later. But then what does AVEVA does? What AVEVA does is we provide industrial intelligence in 3 different areas to enable a better future, but 3 different areas. One is design and build, where we are using our engineering design software and engineering digital twin to help you build an asset faster. Once that is built, we can take that model and combine that with an operating digital twin to bridge the gap between OPEX and CAPEX. And through that digital twin, we are able to constantly look at consistent KPIs across operations and maintenance and help you optimize the production. So this is a circular loop. You could be in any part of this, and we could be helping you optimize your asset in terms of design, build, and operate and optimize any of the 3 areas. Some examples here, and I'll just talk a little bit about global examples as well as local in India. So I'm starting on the left from Albemarle. This is one of the lithium chemical companies. They've been one of our PI users for many years. And in the most recent AVEVA World in April last year in San Francisco, they talked about 150 million in estimated savings through improving production quality and reducing environmental impact. International Group, they are a producer of specialty wax. They were able to look at, using AI to look at consistent batch to get reduced feedstock waste by about 49% or $10 million in incremental profit. Then we have Covestro, where they have been able to reduce their energy consumption by 30% and CO2 emission by 39% per ton of the product. Nearer home in Thailand, we have been able to work with SCGC where we have created what we call as a digital reliability center, which looks at multiple assets through one, I would say, control room or control center. And they've been able to achieve 100% plant reliability, which means no unplanned downtime, with almost 9 times ROI in 6 months. In India, we have been working with SRF, where we have improved process capability and equipment efficiency. We have been working with Dr. Reddy's lab in Hyderabad. We have reduced quality-related costs by 40% and achieved 90% improvement in productivity. And Naveen Fluorine International, where we have been able to reduce transient losses by about 13% by harnessing operational data to generate real-time insights. One of the other things I looked at is, I did another search. Again, this is a compilation of a slide I did using ChatGPT. And I said, okay, look at the top technology words based on the CXO earning calls and strategy reports in this part of the world. And as you can see, the two top words that came out was agentic AI and generative AI. Now, I look at it slightly, I wanted to put in this context, and I'm using a sort of a cartoon on the lighter side from, again, social media, where, AI is very powerful. It can help us get the best of the things, but we have to put in this in context of how do we make the best use of it, right? How do we link it to our business processes? How do we link it to how our operators are going to work, or our engineers are going to work? So talking about AVEVA and AI in AVEVA, we have been in this area for the last 20 years, where we started with predictive analytics roughly about 22 years back. And one of the first applications we had there was AVEVA Predictive Analytics, which is an anomaly detection-based system used globally by a lot of companies. And the SCGC story that I talked about earlier is using this solution along with our engineering digital twin and work task and unified operation center to help the engineers look at not only where a failure might happen, but from the same screen go back and evaluate an equipment in a 3D space and then issue a work order. Now, as you see moving on the right-hand side, you would see that we have got AVEVA guided analytics or real-time crude that we started about 5 years back. More recently, we have added what we call as a generative AI in unified engineering, where you could tell it to generate a clash-free design and so on. And then we have added AVEVA Industrial AI Assistant, right? So going forward, some of the work that we are doing is we are looking at generative dashboards, we are looking at predictive UE, we are looking at industrial AI and assistant in UE, and so on. And one of the things we talk about here, going back to my previous example, is what we call as an integrated AI. Not just the AI as such, but how do we integrate that with the rest of the applications to deliver the maximum benefit to you? Very quickly, moving on to the Connect, which is our platform for multiple things. You can use it to bring data to cloud, share it with the ecosystem partners. And this is what really drives where you can bring in your AI, your own AI applications, or you can use AVEVA applications. And you don't need to worry about bringing data to cloud. We take care of all of that, and we provide a unified experience. So you could be using an AVEVA application to bring the data here, or you could be using a third party to bring the data here till it is consistent with the standards. This is just another view of what we call the integrated and connected AI, where we talk about the same design, build, operate, and optimize. We bring the engineering information and operational information together, and then we use the AI tools to support some of the things that we are doing. And in the next slide, I will show you some examples of this. So the first one that you see is on the engineering side, where we have been able to provide accelerated pipe support design within AVEVA engineering, which has resulted in more than 90% reduction and 56% reduction in the hardware cost. 90% time reduction is for the engineering man hours. Then we have worked with ISU Chemicals, where they have improved reactor performance by combining AVEVA process simulation with AI engine. And they were able to get 99.7% yield prediction on different recipes and operation environment. Nestle, which is one of the large consumer goods company, we have worked with them on improving product consistency used on Connect using advanced analytics, which is again an AVEVA application. 10% savings on Nesquik powder by improved product consistency and consumer satisfaction. At Shell, we have worked with them using AVEVA dynamic simulation to optimize safety and uptime, and nearly 60% reduction in steam and 5% reduction in power consumption. With ADNOC, we have combined predictive asset optimization, which is combining our predictive analytics technology with real-time optimization technology to reduce 50% reduction in plant downtime, and maintenance interval have gone up by 20%. Suncor is one of the refinery companies, or I would say oil companies with a lot of upstream assets as well in Canada. There we have combined Pi with AVEVA predictive analytics, and we have been able to detect in one case about 1,700 anomalies detected early and 37 million in cost savings. So in summary, we can support you in a number of different areas, but I think what I wanted to really emphasize is we are doing innovation on a constant basis. So we're not stopping, we're constantly evolving. And our approach is more around adding AI within our tool, plus what I would call as integrated AI along with business process changes. What we bring to the table is an ability to scale from proof of concept to an enterprise solution. And an example of this is, top 35 companies around the world, out of top 40 or something, are using or relying on AVEVA solution. Now, before I stop, I just wanted to take an example when I talk about the business process change that is required to drive value. The biggest example in India, and I think all of you would be very familiar with this, is Digi Yatra, right? Now, when you talk about Digi Yatra and you use it to board a plane, it is not just that they have digitized the processes, digitized, a solution. They have also changed all the business processes associated with it. Yes, you do notice somebody, marking your on a sheet of paper as you're boarding an aircraft. But before that, everything is electronic and digitized. To me, the value comes in from everything that we are talking about when we can reach that stage. With that, I'll stop, Praveenji, and hand it over back to you.
Thank you, Naveenji. I think you were talking about data is the new gold, but I see silver crossing 4 lakhs today, 1 kg. This shows that the commodity market is very hot, whether it is gold, silver, and even copper also, sir. After Naveenji's presentation, we will come up with the ICN Play and Win contest. And I would request all of you to please answer on the chat window. Which of the following is highlighted as a key digital transformation trend in Indian chemical companies? A, manual labor expansion. B, Industry 4.0 acceleration. C, outsourcing of R&D. And D, reduction of digital platforms. The next question on the screen. What is the ultimate goal of AVEVA's digital platforms according to the presentation? A, close the gap between CapEx and OpEx. B, expand the value of existing assets. C, accelerate decarbonization of existing processes. D, all of the above. And the last question on the screen, the third one. Which industry trend is described as data is the new gold in the presentation? A, sustainability. B, geopolitical events. C, digital transformation. And D, India opportunities. So thank you all the delegates for participating in this ICN Play and Win contest. We will announce the winners shortly, just after we come to the end of the session. Let us now start the panel discussion. The topic for today's panel discussion is Catalyst for Change, a digital revolution for India's chemical industry. We have taken up 8 questions, which we will try to answer through our expert panel. And in case you have any query, or if you have any questions, you can write it down in the chat window, and we will take it up at the end of the session. So let me begin with Mr. Aviramji, and the question to him is the digital blueprint of your company with respect to connected chemical plants. Presently, at what stage is your company with respect to connected chemical plants? And then I would patch in Anand after Aviramji, and he will talk about the global digital trends in connected chemical plants and technology, which will have an impact on Indian chemical companies. So over to Mr. Aviram Alurkar, Senior General Manager.
Good afternoon, Praveenji and all. So before jumping directly into what we are exactly doing and where we are, I would like to just take a couple of minutes on the overall blueprint and roadmap. What it is basically. I would request all the digital transformation leaders. I mean, what excellence is for your organization? It could be being autonomous, a fully connected, intelligent, and adaptive chemical enterprise. Okay, with end-to-end connectivity of your DCS, PLCs, and SCADAs, or MES and ERP applications, predictive and preemptive operations, able recommendations, rather than just having the data at their hand. Or even it could be optimization through closed loops or human-in-loops solutions. And of course, as Naveen ji has also said, sustainability in the operations, enterprise learning at scale, and all those stuff. So my point is, dream big, and basically there should be an aspiration. At the same time, it should be like how we execute it in reality. We have to have that conscious and cautious approach. How to execute it in reality. It should be achievable and basically through measurable steps. So it should be adopted, I feel, in basically the phase manner, wherein, or you can say a layered blueprint or roadmap has to be prepared. Start with connect and contextualize. I would term it as, wherein you can leverage your existing DCS PLC data, OT systems, connect it, and then build processes, basically assess those as is and to be. And then first of all, and more important, is securing your IT OT integrations. Then next phase in that could be predicting and optimizing through APCs or human in loop, as I said, AIML solutions, asset health and performance monitorings, condition-based monitorings kind of stuff, wherein you can target your energies, qualities, and yield analytics. And then finally it comes prescribing and assisting to the workforce in the entire work chain. And finally, basically scaling it and governing it throughout the enterprise. So basically, these are the steps I would think when it comes to a blueprint. And of course, change management is a key aspect, need to be considered throughout this blueprinting, roadmap, and even execution, because it's a long-term goal. And each step has to be with inclusion, recurring trainings, and hands-on to the entire workforce. So the focus, I feel, should not be on maximizing the digitization, but it should be maximizing the business relevance rather than just putting the solutions. So now if you ask me, where are we in terms of Deepak Fertilizer? So basically, I would rate we are like a digitally enabled, wherein we have crossed the stage where we have connected our plants, and then moving in towards the intelligence phase, wherein we start getting those optimization, AIML, and recommendation kind of phase. So what's available right now across our enterprises? Basically, if you ask me, is core connectivity is established. I think we have done it through AVEVA OSI, wherein all our plants are connected. Growing collaboration between IT and OT. Earlier, the data was not available real time and at hands. Now it is available on the go, on the click of a button, anytime, anywhere. And we have a high value use cases now identified, and which will be rolled. Some of them are already in place of rolling. And this will be further strengthening through scaling, improving adoption, and operator and engineering trust. So we will be strengthening it, as I said, this foundational layer of data, real-time data, and condition-based monitoring kind of solutions and MES solutions to further AI, ML, prescriptive, predictive, prescriptive analytics, and going for use cases for quality control, quality predictions, energy optimizations, and it will be definitely rolled up to enterprise level. So I would just like to sum up with a couple of points that what we have done approach is basically doing through roadmap and blueprinting is we have divided into three phases, like core applications, the enablers, and the point solutions. So core and applications is like fundamentals of having your data connected ITOT, then putting the applications like APC and APM, advanced process control and asset performance monitoring, which are quick wins and giving you back the invested money ROIs, and then further leverage the solutions to work for MES, e-log books, and worker-enabled applications, and then parallelly look for the point solutions like drones and generative AIs and basically agentic AIs, which will leverage your entire enterprise applications. It will connect your processes and start removing the siloed applications. So if you ask me one liner, dream big about that connected chemical plant, and it can be moved forward through achievable, measurable steps that can deliver a business value. That's what I would like to say.
Thank you, sir. We will come back to you again. Anand,
Thank you.
your thoughts on how do you see the trends in the connected chemical plants globally as well as in India, and how do you see this will have an impact on Indian chemical companies? Where are they right now?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Praveen. Thanks, Abhiramji, for walking us through your journey. I am audible, right, Praveen?
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. So, when we, we as Kearney have done a lot of work globally in this space, right? And I personally do a lot of my work at the intersection of technology and process industries. And, if I look at it, there are 5 trends, if I may, right? When it comes to connected chemical plants, or be it digitization and automation from a broader perspective. One is organizations have moved beyond pilots and they are moving towards scale, right? And that is where the entire element of platformization, the entire element of building and creating platforms where you can have multiple instances of digital twins or multiple instances of predictive maintenance and so on. I think the age of pilots is not now over, right? And we are truly beyond that. That is one. Now, the second thing is to enable all of this, right? There are multiple elements that people are talking about and people are, doing. One, for sure, we see as a trend is the rise of CDIOs across organization, right? So there was a point of time where 7 years back, digital was separated out, IT was separate. Now, in the last 3 years, just to put some numbers into perspective, there's been a 35% rise in the creation and hiring of CDIO roles across the globe. So clearly, people have seen value from digital, and now they are bringing it back together with digital and IT coming together. Then again, as an enabler on the operating model side, there has been an elevation of digital and IT, where digital and IT is no longer an enabler, but they are having a seat at the table, seat at the board, where CDIOs directly start reporting to the CEOs of the company rather than, reporting to a director of finance or a standalone reporting. So getting to MD -1 is where digital has already reached across organizations. Fourth trend is, all of us, including consultants or OEMs or, or clients, have realized that digital cannot be done by one person, right? So you will need the ecosystem of partnerships. There has been a 6x rise in the number of partnerships that have been triggered in the last 5 years. So a clear trend there. And lastly, to people who are leaders here, from a digital journey standpoint, the most important trend that we see is that leaders are moving beyond IT and digital as a cost center, and they're trying to create revenue centers. So, if you've built a great asset or a great capability, why don't you go ahead and sell it out or sell it as a service to other organizations. So, in summary, these are the 5 trends, right? That at least we see coming across globally, and then some people in India some peers in India have started doing that. Back to you, Pravinji.
Thanks, Anand, for giving a perspective on the role that CDIOs are playing nowadays. With 35% increase, it's a very good number. With the market increasing at around 5 to 8%, this is very encouraging sign for all the CDIOs who are out here at present and who are all listening to this e-conference/webinar. Coming to Jagdish ji, you have been utilizing these data analytics and predictive modeling in SRF for a long time. How is this helping you in terms of condition monitoring and failure prediction? And if you can talk about some of your plans, which you have planned for the coming financial year, which is 26-27. Over to you, Mr. Jagdish Pranami.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Praveen from ICN. And one of the important sentence speak by Mr. Navi is that extracting the more value from the existing assets. I think this is whole the purpose of the digitizations. So before investing much and more, what I can get from my existing asset, that is where digitization sustains. So coming to the AI and ML, which artificial intelligence, machine learning, they are the base of the digitizations. So basically, AI and ML is a data analytics. It is very important, immersive need of today's. If you see out the plants, which are having the multiple utilities, and every plant has one is the process power and the utilities power. We know the utilities power is the 50-60% of what is my process requirement. So these utilities are where we do the normally conditioning monitoring, whether running properly or not properly. So I'm not, we had touched every part, is reduction of the raw material, optimization of the yield, lot many. But today specific, we talk on the simple part of the plant by steam consumption or water consumption, power consumption. So we had did the predictive analytics in the steam traps. We have more than 3,000 steam traps in the plants, and some 500 in range. They are in the big utility of the 6 bar per kg of the steam. So where anything goes wrong with the such steam traps, if we are in the manual mode, when people go there and understand whether working or not working. So in the both the way, when steam is not properly condensate and drain the steam is also a problem, and it is not getting out properly, then hammering, and there is again much more problem with the pipings. So this AI and ML help to improve the performance by 20%, where we started the monitoring of the most of the high steam need the steam traps. That is what advantage. In every plant there is a rotating equipment, and I am giving one of the examples of dry vacuum pumps. We have the more than 200 dry vacuum pumps. This dry vacuum pumps stops or have some abnormality. My plant is getting affected because of steam is internal utilization. So there is the PLC based operation of the smart this DEP, where we are getting the failure, but we doesn't know where to be failed. So we work a lot on this dry vacuum pump and understand the condensate recovery, density, and everything, where we predicted the model of the failure. So before it fails, it gives the pre-alarms. It doesn't get to the fails and stop by plants. So where we got the advantage of 50% breakdown reduction in this DEP. Some more example into the chiller performance and detection of the by pump seal failures. Not many examples. And coming to the plant of the next year financial year, we want to do the early detection of the bearing failures in rotating equipment. Rotating equipment is very important in the continuous plant. If you stop one rotating equipment, it affects the whole production cycle. So motor current signature analysis we want to do. Prediction in the heat exchanger. Heat exchanger is again where there is a heat consumption and exchange over there. And the shift in the signals. because where we use the data from the instrumentation, if this data is not proper or they're drifting and not detected by the team, then again didn't give the not go, give the good results. So from the larger baskets, we specific in the conditioning monitoring we want to do in this FY 26-27. Back to Praveen ji.
Thank you, Jagdish ji. I come to Naveen ji first, and then I will come back to Jagdish ji once again. Sir, in a diverse market like India, how do issues like digital divide between large corporation and SMEs affect equitable adoption of digital tools in the chemical industry? And you gave many examples to showcase how IGI, Covestro, NFIL, SRF, Dr. Reddy, SG Chemicals or AP, ISU Chemical, Nestle, SAIL, ADNOC, all these are benefiting from your product/solutions. So how do you look at this diverse market and how and why do these companies, which is the SMEs, go for equitable adoption of digital tools?
So I'll answer that question in two parts. First of all, I think in today's world, the digital adoption or digital transformation is no longer an option, right? I think if you look at it, I still belong to that generation where we used to have the Nokia phones, right? And today it's very difficult to find that, right? Even in a country like India, we've got many different type of smartphones and so on, right? But everyone is using a smartphone. The other thing is for a small and medium enterprise, the challenge is how do you justify cost and where do you get the resources to help you with the data, right? A large organization can have a group of people who are focused on, let's say, just maintenance of rotary equipment. And this is where, at least what we have done is, we have created a platform where you can share data with your communities, with your service providers, right? So I can give you an example, and this is not an example of a small company. This is an example of a large company. There is an integrated refinery and petrochemicals in Malaysia near Singapore, where they are using the Connect platform to share the data with their process licensor on one of the process units. And the process licensor is then managing it. We have examples in the US of renewable energy company, wind turbines, where the turbine owner is getting data through the Connect platform and providing that input. So the way we look at it is, I think if the small and medium enterprises are looking at doing something standalone, it may be difficult. And as Anand mentioned earlier, this is no longer the time for doing pilots, right? We all want to do pilots. A lot of time, a pilot could take up a significant amount of time, and then the management may lose confidence. I would say specifically for the SMBs, they can look at how something similar has been done on a similar technology plant or somewhere else, and how what you're deploying, you can bring in your partners, your ecosystem partners, to help you navigate that. So what it means is you may not have to invest in everything yourself. And we have used this term earlier, chemistry as a service, right? So some of these things can be provided as a service where you use our platform to share data and bring the results back. Even in case of an IGI wax, the analytics is provided by a third-party company. They're using Connect as a platform to share the data with a third-party company who is doing analytics and providing what should be the golden badge on an operator screen. I hope that answers the question.
No, definitely it answers the question, and I think it is more of a collaborative approach where it is the manufacturer, then it is the platform provider, and third, whoever wants to use that data to give better analytics will definitely have an extra edge, and finally it will help companies, persons like Jagdish ji or Abhiram ji and Ramesh ji in order to provide better production as well as also to give an increased 24/7 operations moving forward. Thank you, Naveen ji.
Praveerji, I won't call them in the SMB category.
No, they are in the large category.
But I think Rameshji wanted to add something.
Ramesh.
Yeah, sir. So actually, I'm mostly sure like AI is going to change the entire industry, whether it is SME or maybe a large company, doesn't matter. Everybody has to use the AI or has to use the digital in coming years.
Thank you, Rameshji. Jagdishji, I come back to you once again. How do you see the emerging technologies? You have been using majority of them, like digital twins or machine learning, play in enhancing sustainability and reducing environmental footprints in the chemical sector. Over to Jagdishji.
So before start coming to the digital twin, I have a simple understanding. If I have a computer, I am a process engineer, I am a utility engineer, and I am getting my plant data, my breakdown data, my quality data, my raw material consumption pattern and quality data, and my outcomes. How it looks. If I got everything on my one platform, that is beauty of the digitization, the digital twins. The digital twins will help in the real-time optimization of the energy consumptions. So in our plants, we have the temperature sensor, pressure sensor, steam load, steam pattern, flow rates. This all will help to how do I optimize my plant performance with the help of the real-time data. We could do the minimizing of the waste and offsets productions. When my yield is improved and my throughput is improved, indirectly it reduce the raw material waste, avoid rework of the people, and lower the disposal and the unusable chemicals. This will help to minimize my waste and offset specifications. The footprint, how we reduce the footprint? We have the carbon footprint, we have the asset footprint. These are the two major footprints. When my asset load is performance increases, I do not need new assets. I can increase my steam consumption improvement or energy optimizations. I do not need the more energy. So with both the way, that help in the reducing the environment footprints in the chemical industries. This is part of the digital team where we do the machine learning. So in prediction analysis, we need the past data of the any machine or any automation equipment or any roll mill or any complete systems. When these understand my past data and what performance the given. The one is I can do the golden batch and reproduce my good outcome. And second is where problem is going to occur. I give the pre-alert to my plant operation, which plant maintenance team, they work proactively and reduce the breakdown and the quality degradation in the production, where they help the digital twin and this machine learnings. So back to Praveen.
Thank you, Jagdishji. I come to again to Abhiramji and Naveenji. And here the question to them is, how should the industry balance the cost of digital implementation with ROI? Because that's what the top management or the CFO and the CEO is interested. Especially, this is more important because in a price-sensitive market like chemicals where the margins are low, how do you balance that? We'll start with Abhiramji and then to Naveenji.
Yeah. So, Praveenji, I mean, let me get it. Where is that ROI first of all? Let me check, because when I started the project, it was all over there. It was on my presentation, and everywhere ROI was there. We are very sure that ROI was well calculated. But down the line, 6 months, 12 months in the project, we really get hard times to find that ROI. And I think this is the a typical situation with all the projects, especially in digital transformation, and particularly nowadays in AI and generative AI cases. But I mean, I would really like to ask the question, I mean, to myself and all fellow fellow panelists and all the people over here, that is it really that ROI is that difficult, or is it really misinterpreted? So because ROI is not a new term, and it is very well working in projects like CapEx. I mean, when we are putting a new project, or basically any new equipment which is replacing my old equipment, it very well works, because I'm optimizing say old technology. It very well works because I have a standard timeline. I know what I'm replacing and what new project is going to give it to me. So it is very well measurable, and all across the organization, management understands it and appreciates it. But when it comes to a large programs like digital transformation, I think we need to see ROI from a different lenses, first of all. And I would like to give some data. I mean, Anandji would very well echo with me on this. There is a study done across all big basically consultancies, which says almost 70-80%, to an extent 90% in some cases, organizations are not able to achieve the objectives or ROIs. But is it really that measurement is right, or whether that ROI has been really correctly measured or analyzed? So is it a problem of technology or leadership, or ROI itself is a wrong measurement? I think no. In large scale digital programs, traditional ROI alone is not sufficient. We need to look it from a perspective where it's a large program, and the transformation is almost never just a short-term cost versus revenue. It's going to give you basically how businesses works and transforms over the years. Once the journey started, over the years, the value often realized basically over the period in terms of reduction in operational and compliance risks, maybe greater agility to do newer projects, faster decision making, shorter cycle times. All these factors are there. Then basically, I would say that understanding the value of foundational, I would say, moves and overestimating quick wins. Basically, those are also a few things which we need to consider. Actually, the payoff in terms of next projects being delivered faster, proving it into the new products or markets, or better satisfying your customers, is what is the value we should look into when we really starting ideation of the project, and even right from the roadmap or the blueprint phase when we are ideating those projects. ROI can never be operationalized into actual metrics or baseline owners or dashboards. I mean, it cannot be just a dashboards or digital tools. It has to be seen in all these aspects, right from invested money back to other tangible, intangible benefits. So how we can redefine it? I mean, I have 3-4 points just to close my point, that we have to treat it ROI as a management discipline, wherein there has to be a hypothesis. It should be hypothesis driven, wherein we have some baselines basically, and accountability metrics has to be there, and it has to be consistently measured and tracked. Okay, and definitely all these tools, real-time data management, and the things which Naveenji has said, we are going to help us in this journey. Someone from the businesses has to own it and track it till the end we achieve it basically. And so what I would say is digital tools must pay for themselves, rather than business is putting money from their own pocket every time. And how we can achieve is basically, as I said earlier also, solutions can be divided into core, enablers, and point solutions, wherein initially we can look for solutions which can directly impact onto our business bottom lines or top lines, with energy intensity reduction, yield improvements, unplanned downtimes like APC, APM. Then we can stage into the next solutions of AI, ML, and agentic AIs, where further productivity will be enhanced. We can leverage it with connected worker applications, and giving training to our basically workforce to handle these operations and come up with new ideas of improving the efficiencies, and doing the manufacturing more and more efficient and productive way. So I think in chemicals, digital ROI must be measured in tons, gigabytes, uptimes, and not only through dashboard. I mean, what I am getting on dashboard, rather than it should be on in terms of what value I'm getting, and accordingly we should go ahead with our execution as well, as I said earlier. Yeah. Because
So
even 1 or 2% improvements in your yields and energy indexes will have a huge impact on overall your efficiency of organization when it comes to enterprises. Yeah, that's what I would like to say.
Naveen ji, how do you convince your customers to go for digital solutions and so that they get a better ROI? And you explained in some of them during the presentation where it was with respect to optimization that they have done or they have reduced the cost of operations. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Praveenji, and very good thoughts there. So I'll answer this question in two parts. The first part is I would say is, I hosted a panel discussion at AVEVA Day in July in Mumbai, where we had the CDIOs, CIOs from JSW, Hindalco, Reliance, Sonepar, and Power Finance Corporation, right? And one of the common themes that came out from that was we need to include the cost of carbon and in your calculations. And when you're doing anything, you need to look at the total cost of ownership. So if I look at cost of carbon in Europe today, it's already crossed 100. In Singapore, I think this year is 25 and will go to about 80 or 90 by 2030. So once you start including cost of carbon, so when you say energy efficiency improvement, it is not just percentage steam saving, but how much carbon you are saving because of that. That will make a difference to your calculation. The second part is total cost of ownership. And this is when you have on-prem infrastructure versus you take the data to the cloud, that's a saving in sense because of when you talk about total cost, you need to include all the cost associated with the on-prem infrastructure, right? In that, one of my panelists talked about using blockchain carbon credits to be able to price their product better because they're producing its sustainability, because globally that's becoming a trend. Now, how do we work? I think when I go and talk to anybody, see, it's about an organization's digital maturity. I would always treat certain projects as infrastructure project, right? So if I have to collect real-time data, to me, we should not be looking at an ROI of that because that's infrastructure. We can show an ROI even on that, but that's just infrastructure because without that, nothing is going to move. The second part is, what am I trying to do? Am I trying to do just one implementation in isolation, or I'm doing it at scale? So if I go back and take the example of what Jagdish mentioned on stream traps. So first I talk about, he talked about utility optimization in utilities. Optimization in utilities. Traditionally, nobody looked at utilities. Utilities was supposed to provide steam, power, and everything else for the plant to run. And now we are moving into utilities. And he talked even going down to stream traps. So if I have to do reliability of just a stream trap by itself, it may not give me an ROI. But when I do it at a scale, where I have done a lot of other things and I'm using the same algorithm and extending it to a stream trap, even it's basically the incremental cost, right? We have another technology which we use in the large chemical plants called real-time optimization. Now, each project could be anywhere between $500,000 to $1 million. And that's why typically implementation happens. I've done 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units out of 10, 15 units. But we have customers, large customers, who take enterprise license, which means their incremental cost of implementation is very low. And then they go out and implement it everywhere. So in summary, I would put it two things. How do you scale, right? And second is make sure that in today's environment, the total cost of ownership and cost of carbon is included in any calculations you do.
So thank you, sir. I don't think ROI beautifully explained by both Aviramji and Naveenji on the ROI aspect. Now, I look back to the future, and we have Rameshji and Anandji who will talk about them. Looking ahead to 2030, what transformative changes, whether it is agentic AI or is it generative AI, and or there are some other technologies, do you foresee in India's chemical industry, and how it will shape employment and skill requirements in the chemical sector, because these are new things which are coming into. So over to Mr. Rameshji and then to Anandji.
Okay, thank you very much, Parveenji. So, first of all, thank you very much for calling me here. And I'm very much agree with Mr. Naveen's statement. So, we have to put infrastructure first, then we have to talk about the ROI of that particular thing. So, but I want to add one more thing because the technology is changing too fast. Whatsoever change we have seen in last 20-25 years, that may be the equivalent or the more than that change we will see in the coming 2.5 years itself. So if technology is changing too fast, so now it is not only a matter how much you are investing. So it's a matter also how quickly you are getting the benefit out of that. So I would like to introduce one more term here. One is the ROI, that is a return on investment. But I would like to say there should be a return on time, ROT. So return on time, like if you are investing your time, how quickly you will get the return out of that time. So now when I was just looking at the chat, like one question was popping up again and again. Give us some tools that give quick ROI or something that also I would like to share with you. But before that, what one thing I want to share with all of panelists and all the other members, the agentic AI will going to change the industry forever. So few example I would like to convey how agent will help us in getting our day-to-day work. So first I will give the thing that we have done now, and then I will like share what we are going to do. So the first thing, agent will help us in manufacturing in broader way. The first thing is maintenance agent. So maintenance agent right now, if you see the industry, they have multiple systems, like they have some of the IIoT system for vibration. Most of the companies have now. They have CMMS. They have some of the reliability system. But how agent will help us in this case? There will be one agent that will take the data from the breakdown. One agent will take the data from the preventive maintenance, and it will tell, say, if somebody is logging and asking a chat agent, what is my work today? So immediately the person, the chat will know, AI chatbot will get to know who is that person and for which particular department that person is responsible for. So immediately it will get the PM schedule of that person of that area. And if there is a breakdown of that area, it will get. So both agents will go to CMMS, will go to AI based system, IIoT based system, and collect the information and tell Mr. So and so, today you have two preventive maintenance schedule with you, and there is a urgent breakdown that you have to attend. So in spite of going through logbook or shift change or anything, the person will go into the plant, just check with the AI agent, what is my task today? And immediately he will get to know he has to do some preventive schedule or he has to attend some urgent breakdown. He will go there and attend that. So that will be the maintenance breakdown. And that maintenance agent will help them in getting their spare requirement, in if they have some annual turnaround or annual shutdown cycle. So that agent will help them to make their shutdown planning also. So in that way, agent will be there in all our functions. Not only in maintenance, they will be there in the production. While doing the production planning, they will be there in the safety. In safety, there will be agent for quickly making the this permit system. So permit system agent will be there. Safety inquiry agent will be there. So all these agents will transform the manufacturing, especially chemical manufacturing in coming few years. And the terms right now we are using chat GPT and all these things. So the majorly it will come into the plant and it will change the plant as plant GPT. So plant GPT will give the answer to each and every query that somebody want to know what is happening in my plant. So immediately it will convert it into normal text and it will tell like, okay, this is the production today. In this shift, the production is less. So they can again ask like, why the production is less in this particular shift. So agent will get the query and they will check from the system FMEA or something. They will say the breakdown occur in this particular plant. That is why the production become low in the last shift. So you don't need to go for even the dashboard and everything will be on your voice call only. So these kind of change anyhow will come till 2030 or whatsoever trend I am looking at. Definitely it will come in next 1 or 2 year. One maintenance chatbot we have already started. So with the help of two inputs from IIoT vibration input and one from CMMS input, two agents are going there, getting the input from there and giving that back. So this, I think, will be a game changer in the chemical industry.
Thank you, Rameshji, for talking about futuristic technology. Plant GPT, nobody is talking about, but you coined a new term, plant GPT, and it's very good to see agents helping in production planning, safety, and a lot of other processes in the chemical sector that we are talking about. Anand, if you can add something, because analysts do good forecast. So what's your thought on this particular transformative changes that you foresee? And if you can add
Yeah.
also on the recommend one catalyst for change to accelerate the digital revolution in the industry and what would be and why. Over to
Yeah,
Anand.
sure, sure. So I think Ramesh ji covered it very well. I'll just summarize in three points, right? One is by 2030 there will be a lot of ask rather than search, right? So the entire voice to text, voice to analytics is something that is going to grow at double digit CAGR is what we see. That is because of generative AI and how the cost of LLMs and then people building SLMs on top for themselves is something that's driving that change. The second thing is, while Ramesh ji talked about a particular example on maintenance, there is an approach that we follow which is called pixelation, right? Just like an image, there are multiple pixels, across each one of our support functions, which is, be it maintenance or be it HR or finance. We divide the entire job into multiple pixels. And for example, if it is HR, there will not be just 7 roles but 2000 pixels. And at a pixel level, we understand what can an agent do versus what where do you need a human, and that drives 60 to 70% productivity improvement. As we see it across clients. So the rise of agents is a clear theme, and the way to do it is what will define changes in process, changes in thinking, and bringing in more agents. And lastly, you know will be a huge change in terms of capabilities and roles that we see. There will be lesser data hunters and more hybrid doers, as we call it, which means, the skill set on IT, OT translators, or for example, data product owners, and cyber aware plant leaders, right? Those are the three important terms that we use. And those roles will definitely evolve as we speak. So those are the three things that we see by 2030 for all people here. The second question that you asked, Praveenji, on one word catalyst for change, I think I would recommend everyone to have, it's two words. It's called scale mandate, saying, moving beyond pilot purgatory or analysis paralysis and believing that there is enough value, right? And I think a lot of my fellow panelists have also talked about it, invest in infra and then value will flow, and then the use cases will pay for themselves. So that would be my answer to your question.
Thank you, Anand.
Praveenji, I just wanted to add one thing. Some of the generative AI things that Rameshji mentioned, we have been doing demos at our global events, and some of that already exists through our Connect platform, right?
Yes.
It is constantly being enhanced, but some of it already exists.
So
Praveenji.
we have come to the last question. So I would request all the delegates to type in their questions in the Q&A window or in the chat window so that we can take it up after this panel discussion. So the last to Rameshji, and this is about are you planning to adopt an industrial intelligence platform such as Connect? I think you have been utilizing it for a long time, which is a game changer for the chemicals industry. So if you can talk about your experience and how will this platform help chemical companies in the short and the long term? So over to Mr. Ramesh Dham.
Yeah, thank you very much. As Naveenji mentioned, industrial AI agent, it is already there in a beta version on Connect platform, and we started using immediately when they released. So we put it our data, quality data there. So now if I need to ask like result of our quality data, immediately we can get the answer. So that is one thing definitely I can assure like we are already using, so it is good. And day by day it is increasing and it is getting tuned with our own data. So if I talk about the Connect platform, Connect is not another platform. It's a entire ecosystem. If you have multiple things, multiple applications, so Connect is the way where you can integrate fast. So I think the other technology that I've used for integration with SAP or any other thing, it is almost 3 times faster than any other application. And if the person are existing user of Pi, then the Connect platform they is a must-have platform for them. Because right now, if you want to connect with Pi to any other system, there are ways. I'm not saying there are not ways, but the immediate faster approach that you can take by the Connect platform. I'm giving one example. We started AVEVA Advanced Analytics about 1.5 years ago. How simple it is. Like if you take any other platform where you are doing the advanced analytics, you have to take the time series data or any other data to one particular platform. Then you have to train your model on that platform and that will become one repository of the data for that model. In Connect platform, the advanced analytics and Pi are joined by Pi to Connect utility or Pi to Connect agent. While that agent, what you have to do, you have to go to advanced analytics, the asset you have made in the Pi system, that asset seamlessly will come to your advanced analytics and you can perform any of the analytics or any of the ML model on that particular asset. So that is the beauty of that. And not only that, there is a reverse agent is also available. So now if you are doing the analytics on any of the platform, there is no like very little feasibility. You will have the dashboard of that analytical platform also in the control room. Because say if you are using Pi, so one is the DCS control room you have, DCS dashboards you have, another is Pi dashboard you have. You cannot afford to have another set of display. So another advanced analytics means connect to Pi agent. It will take the data result of advanced analytics back to the Pi system so that on the same system which you are using for real-time data, you will get the result of advanced analytics also. So it is not only the data integration, it is contextualizing the data, sharing through the third party and very rich API. One more integration aspect of this Connect, I would like to share with you SAP integration. So like Pi or any other system that we are using, the process all are time series data. So now if you need to get some of the PO values or some of the PP module data into Pi system, it will not come directly because our Pi system will be the time series data, and there you will get the multiple POs at the same time stamp. That will be, it should come into a relational database. So that bridge Connect is covering. So Connect will have relational database also and time series database also. So it is very well performing in this SAP connector. And one more advantage, like right now we are using Connect for advanced analytics connector, but there is a native connectivity with Databricks. So any of the signal that right now we are taking to advanced analytics, it can go asset by asset, directly can go to the Databricks, and you can perform any of the action after that. So I think in that way, Connect is a very useful connector, orchestrator, contextualization, AI engine, and everything. It's a complete industrial ecosystem that I found in the Connect.
Thank you, Rameshji. I would just add one more thing there, or rather two things, Praveenji, if you allow me. One is when we take the data from on-prem system to the cloud, so we are eliminating data replication, but we are also doing data transformation, because when you look at any real-time data, that's all time-stamped. When you do analytics, you need flow, temperature, pressure as an x-axis. So we are doing that transformation. And Rameshji talked about bridge to Databricks. We are building similar bridges with other platforms as well. And what it means is that you could be in a Databricks environment and you can query something from Pi directly. And that's a very high bandwidth, terabytes of data transformation. You can do your analytics there, and the results, as Rameshji said, could be written back and available to operator screen on the platform. Praveenji.
So I think what is happening is that things are getting simplified. So it is good for everybody, and the simplification will help in meeting the ROI requirement and all those parameters set up by the CFO, the CDIO, and the CEO. So thank you all panelists for an interesting panel discussion. I request all of you to please type in your questions. I have multiple of them which I have already got from the screen. One was an anonymous one. The first one, how to justify investment. After listening to these 80 minutes of conversation that we are having, I don't see, again, reiterating the fact that whether digital transformation requires justification for investment or not. And I think there were umpteen examples given by Naveenji and all our speakers. So I will try to skip this. There is a question from KP Sa to Jagdishji. For steam traps, is it 24/7 automatic monitoring? So over to Jagdishji, sir.
Yes, it's a 24/7 monitoring, and it can give the alerts to the plant team as well as the reliability team to take the actions.
Thank you, sir. KP Sa is again asking a question to Abhiramji. Is ROI estimated by any consultant reasonably in line with actual ROI, or is it overestimated? So you can correct answer, Abhiramji.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it to the best of my knowledge, but your question is very apt, I would say. The answer is yes, both yes and no. Purposely, I'm keeping it in dilemma, but it matches as long as we provide a correct data, because consultant is coming from outside. It is on us internally what data we provide, how pain points we put in forward, and then definitely solutions are there, as Naveen ji has also mentioned. There are plethora of solutions available, but then how we really define our problem statements and what are the objectives we want to achieve make really the consultant will come out with those ROI statements. Otherwise, definitely there'll be inflated ones, because everyone is in business. But yeah, as long as we give correct data, And another thing is, I mean, what we have really done is we have done like a 30,000 feet analysis through one of the big consultants. And then when it comes to really implementing solutions in a particular plant, we went into doing another round of dipstick analysis. That's how we are doing it. To be very frank, for that particular plant, we are going another round of in-depth analysis, and then working out those ROIs. More or less, they are matching into 80 to 90%. If we keep the assumptions and objectives same. So that's the answer. If in detail you want, I mean, I'm ready to talk on it one to one as well. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And I would request, I would just, with respect to ROI, I would only say one thing, that digital has transformed many verticals.
Yeah.
Are the, what we can say, the laggards in this approach, and I think we are slowly catching up. From last 3-4 years, I have been seeing this speed of deployment increasing, and as one said, it is not only about pilot, but it is about now large scale deployment, which is so. Sneha Mulay, can you please explain with anyone, any chemical company, what tools they have used and improved their production efficiency? So who would like to take, Aviramji, Rameshji, or Jagdishji? What tools? I think Rameshji talked about the tools, connect tools.
Yeah,
So
okay. I will give some another perspective also. So if you see the manufacturing industry, basically the chemical industry, what thing you need to make uh, digitize or digital transformation should come. The first thing is the like real time data. So if you don't have the visibility of your real time data, so that is must have tool. You should have the historian and the data management platform. So this is the first thing. The second thing is once you get the real time data, so you should have the equipment health and equipment availability also. So increasing the equipment health and availability, you must have the preventive maintenance scheduler, which can be any of the CMMS system. And right now, the condition based monitoring system with the help of IIoT, that two systems are must having in the maintenance system or the maintenance pillar of the system. Then if you go to the supply chain, whether it is inbound or outbound, whether the material is coming to your company or going outside, so the major thing is you should have a real-time tracker on the all the supply chain or all the inbound and outbound activity. So any digital supply chain is must have in the tool in the manufacturing plant. The fourth is the safety systems. So if you like running the plant 24/7, so safety is utmost important factor that is there for any of the chemical plant. So do utilize tool like video analytics for PPE detection or any system. If you can make the command control center where you will integrate all the systems like PA system, gate automation system, your fire detection system, smoke detection system, gas detection system, about 16 to 20 parameter that must come into command control center. So that is also a must having tool in the chemical factory. And on the top of that, if you have everything in terms of data security, you must have IT security, but also you must have the OT security. So for the OT security, there are few things, few tools you must have. One is the visibility of the OT at one centralized place. If you have the visibility, then only you can do the threat analysis and you can go for the OT SOC. So this OT visibility and threat monitoring is the one tool in IT and OT. And maybe you can take the reference model or the Purdue model you can take in every industry for the IT and OT integration. That is also must having for any of the chemical industry.
thank you, Rameshji, for explaining in detail. There is one question from Srinivasan Radhakrishnan, and he says, I wish I know the AI can do the mistakes. So how you can give the accuracy of the information? Also, are you going to take over the PLC working and also the Viva software? So Navinji, if you can take this question.
Yeah. So first of all, we're not talking about taking over PLCs. The PLCs and DCS have a space, right? And that would always remain. Now, Srinivasji, you raise a very valid point about data quality, and I'm sure Rameshji, Jagdishji, and Viramji handle this every day in and day out, right? So there are a couple of ways of looking at it. I know people have used AI tools on top of Pi to identify bad data. I know of large companies who have people monitoring the data to eliminate bad data. But what we do as AVEVA is, as I mentioned earlier, we are talking about integrated AI. So one of the examples we take is we bring in simulation to augment data as well as validate data. Because plant data, in a chemical plant, we are also always talking about thermodynamics, right? So if you can put in online models, you can validate that at times. And you can also, what you can do is you can augment data where you don't have a sensor. You can use simulation to provide the data. Now, as far as the closing the loop is concerned, that's a very, very sensitive subject. We do closing the loop with the first principle models in refinery and petrochemicals. And even there, it takes time before anybody closes the loop. In my experience, what I have seen in the AI world is the results are being made available to an operator on a screen next to his or her DCS or PLC screen, and they would read that and then implement that decision. And even when it gets to that stage, it goes through a process where you put in the guardrails. You don't allow an AI results without guardrails to reach the plant floor, right? So guardrails meaning what could be the minimum or maximum somewhere, right? Is this calculation looks reasonable or not? So some of those results could even be rejected. So your concern is very valid, but this is what we have seen as how people have handled it. And I'm sure Abhiramji, Rameshji, or Jagdishji would probably want to add something there as well.
So, Navinji, one question to you again is from Vishali. How does AVEVA help improve cash flow management and capex investment evaluation?
So I think let me answer this question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, our audience, I have just a very small request. We have to list down our pains and where we are facing the problem with our plant organization as a business. And suppose I don't have the my raw material cost is high. That is one of the problem. And I have the high power consumption. That will be the problem. Please list down that pain. Once you have the list of the pain that pain can be helped by the digitization, then there is no organization will ask for the ROI, return of investment questions, because we experience in last more than 5 years we can solve every problem with the help of the digitizations.
Vijay Savsani is talking about what is the accuracy agent for any task end to end in agentic AI. So Rameshji, if you can answer in short so that I can take 2-3 more questions.
So when you say accuracy, what I will tell you, there should not be any hallucination. So answer should come from our respective data only. So then only I will say the result is accurate. So whenever you are doing the generative AI, so there are multiple ways of doing that. So the basic way that right now we are doing is RAG architecture, where we are using a pre-trained model and we are giving our own data. Like we have made a few chatbot, RAG-based chatbot for our like SOP findings, and then we have made for HR policy findings. So accuracy comes in a way if you are getting the result or the answer from the chat within your system, then it is accurate. So you have to make your system accurate. That can be done by multiple parameters. There are, when you are tuning the GenAI model, there are multiple parameters like temperature, everything you have to set. So if you are setting all the parameter and making the good RAG model, RAG architecture, then automatically you will get the true answer.
Thank you, Rameshji. Avinav Srivastav is talking about, can you tell us more about Connect platform and how it is helpful in advanced analytics? I think this has been explained in detail. Arvind Kumar Gupta says, hello sir, this is Arvind Kumar Gupta from Bayer, Vapi. May I request the AVEVA expert to visit us at Vapi and give my team a detailed overview how the AVEVA software can help us improve the batch process, its efficiencies and people efficiency. Then there is one question from Mr. Karan Doshi, and he is talking about how to embed the process team's legacy knowledge and control philosophies, which are not captured through data, into advanced systems, to integrate the data with intuition to ensure the data and AI is in with practical feasibilities, in line with practical feasibilities. So who will take this?
I think this is what I mentioned about building the guardrails, right? It's we use the process knowledge of the engineers to build the guardrails for any AI solution to come back. And this is why we say the AI solution is not going into closed loop into a PLC or a DCS. It is only available to them on a second screen where operators can look at and then use their knowledge to apply it. So that's the way I would answer. I don't know if any of my fellow
Just
panelists
to
wants to
add
say.
here, why doing this data analytics? We have the model accuracy. If our model accuracy more than 85% or beyond 90%, I think we are getting the results. So that is the what we have own utilization the data analytics. So one is the control part is very different. Here we have to visualize the data and give the input to our decision engine by the manual mode. And the accuracy is, if prediction is more than 90%, we can get the good results.
There is one more thing I would add, Praveenji. You see, when we talk about AI, typically we talk about using the data, the real-time data to train the AI model, right? Now, one of the concepts we use is, again, sorry, I'm going back to my terminology of integrated AI. We have tried to use dynamic simulation to generate data to train an AI agent, right? Because when you train the AI agent based on plant data, it can only operate in the space in which the plant has operated, right? But using a dynamic simulation, I can train the AI agent in not only in steady state, but startup, shutdown, or even unsteady state conditions, right? And the fact that I'm using a dynamic simulation model, which is tuned, it is thermodynamic, so all the data that it is giving is consistent. And I would use that to generate data to train the AI model. So that's another thing that we have worked on. And we have some of the Lighthouse programs going on this in different parts of the world.
So I will take this last question. There are two questions. I think I will ask Jagdish ji to answer this. One is by Yakesh Prajapati. He says at which location of SRF this steam trap monitoring is done. And second, I'm clubbing this. Hello, this Praveen Pundir from DCM Shriram. 70% of energy consumption is from utility side. Utility caters to 7 to 8 plants of different products. How can we reduce our steam and power consumption? And what real data needed to reduce the steam and power consumption? Short answers, Jagdish ji, and then we will announce the winners.
Okay. So that we had implemented this digitization at the SRF, the Dahej location. That is the answer to the first question. Second, in utilities. So utilities mainly our user parameters, like users like chiller of maybe the 5 degree or minus 20 degree, then instrument air consumption, nitrogen consumption, and some other equipment based on the plant requirement. So initially, we need the control parameter of the utilities. That is first requirement. Second requirement, what is my power consumption pattern? We need the energy data. That is second, and how it connected to my plants. if with three data we can start the analysis on pattern of the energies. Now, some of the cases we have the one utility utilized for the two different plants. So, where plant A and plant B. Sometimes plant B is running on 50% capacity, B is running on the 100% capacity. Then how it is very important how to optimize utilities. That at that time we need to add some controls, but not directly. The team who do the analysis do the some prediction and the future mark parameters, which parameter is disturbing my whole energy. Based on that study, we need to have some know-how of the utilities, means the our basic engineering knowledge. Then we can apply the control with the control system, and for the range of operation will be provided by the data analytics. So how we could hold to the control of the my energy.
Thank you, Jagdish ji, and I would like to thank all my panelists for taking time out, and we have answered all the questions, so it's not that we have left anyone unanswered or any question unanswered. Let me thank Mr. Jagdish Pranami, Associate Vice President SRF, Mr. Aviram Alurkar, Senior General Manager, Digital Manufacturing and Supply Chain, BFPCL, Mr. Ramesh Dham, Senior General Manager, Digital and IT, Coromandel International, Mr. Naveen Kumar, Vice President, Business Development, AVEVA, Mr. Anand Mantri, Partner, Kearney. And I would request, before we announce the winners, I would request all of you to rank us on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the maximum and 1 being the least, on how this webinar has helped you and whether we were able to justify the topic that we had chosen today, which was Catalyst for Change, a digital revolution for India's chemical industry. So I request all the delegates who are there to please rank us on how we have performed. Give right answers to this particular question. No prizes for this. Whatever that you would be giving us the rank. No, I'm announcing the winners. The first question was, which of the following is highlighted as a key digital transformation trend in the Indian chemical companies? The answer was B, Industry 4.0 acceleration. And the winner is Mr. Darshan Shah, Manager, Fine Organics. Congratulations, Darshan ji. The second question was, what is the ultimate goal of AVEVA's digital platform according to the presentation? And the answer was all of the above, which was close the gaps between CapEx and OpEx, expand the value of existing assets, accelerate the decarbonization of existing processes, and all of the above is the right answer. And here, the winner is Sneha Mulye from Hindustan Platinum. I think she was the one who asked one question, also in the after the panel discussion. So congratulations, Sneha. The third is, which industry trend is described as the data is the new gold in the presentation? The answer is C, which is digital transformation. And the winner is Survi Verma from IGL, which is igpetro.com. So let me do the formalities. Let me also thank all esteemed speakers who took time to share their experiences. Let me thank all the delegates who registered and participated. Those who could not participate can watch the video on the Indian Chemical News website. In a week, we will upload the video. We will also upload the stories, the summary of the story that we discussed today for the 90 odd minutes. And let me thank Team ICN for their good work. Thank you once again. Jai Hind. And would like to again see you for a different topic at the same time, which is our favorite time of 3 p.m. that we do every time. So thank you everybody for participating and enjoying this panel discussion.